Hello, everyone, and welcome to your online learning journey with Europe Hotel School. I'm here to guide you through the essentials of modern hospitality. Today, we're diving into a topic that is the absolute bedrock of any world-class service, the professional mindset. This quote really gets to the heart of it all. It's so easy to think that exceptional service is just about following a script or ticking off a checklist. But the reality is, true excellence starts way before you even speak to a guest. It all starts with your mindset. It's that internal framework that really sets the stage for everything else you do. So where do we start? Well, before we can even think about managing a guest's experience, we have to master ourselves first. This first section is all about building that solid inner foundation, what we call inner composure. Let's explore the first pillar. The very first pillar of that foundation is emotional stability, and this one is it's absolutely critical, especially when you find yourself in those high-pressure, high-stakes interactions that are so common when serving VIP guests. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, it's about being able to see a guest's stress not as some kind of personal attack, but simply as information. A VIP might be frustrated because of a tight schedule. The professional mind doesn't get defensive, right? It just processes that emotion as data to better understand what they really need. By staying composed, you signal confidence and can instantly de-escalate a tense situation. And just think about the kind of impact this has. Your own internal steadiness, your calm, that becomes a service in and of itself. When a guest senses that you're calm and in control, it actually allows them to relax. They feel that they're in capable hands, and that right there is the first real step to building trust. All right, our next pillar of inner composure is something called presence, and it builds right on top of what we just talked about. This isn't just about being physically there, in the room. It's all about the quality of your attention. Let me tell you, VIPs are incredibly perceptive. They can tell in an instant if you're just, going through the motions. True presence means putting away that mental to-do list, making direct eye contact, and really listening to understand, not just to figure out what you're going to say next. It's a simple act, really, but it communicates an immense amount of respect and tells the guests that, in this moment, they are your one and only priority. Okay, so once we've got that foundation of inner composure set, now we can start to shift our focus outward. Section 2 is all about the art of interaction. This is how we move from managing ourselves to serving others with real skill and grace. And the first principle we're going to talk about for great interaction is humility. Now, I know in a service context, this word can be a little misunderstood, so let's get really clear on what we mean here. And this is the absolute key distinction to make. Humility in our world is all about partnership, not servitude. It's having the confidence to put your ego aside, to find the best possible solution for the guest, especially when requests get demanding. You're a confident, approachable collaborator, not a subordinate. Okay, next up is a skill that takes service from being just good to being truly, truly memorable, and that is anticipation. And look, anticipatory service isn't about being a mind reader, right? It's not some kind of psychic power. It's actually a highly developed skill of observation. It's about noticing a guest's posture, hearing the little nuances in their tone, and really understanding their patterns so you can meet a need before they even have to ask for it. This is how you go from reactive service to the kind of proactive excellence that truly defines the VIP experience. All right, finally, everything we've talked about from our inner composure to our interaction skills is all held together by principles that prove your reliability. This last section is all about building that unshakable trust that's really the bedrock of true guest loyalty. So trust, it's really built on 3 non-negotiable elements. You can think of them like the 3 legs of a stool. You take one away and the whole thing just falls apart. They are consistency, professional presentation, and, of course, upholding integrity. Let's start with consistency. Just imagine, for a VIP guest, someone who's often in an unfamiliar city, probably under a lot of pressure, your consistency is a huge source of comfort and security. They need to trust that every single detail is going to be handled to the exact same high standard every single time. That reliability, it's everything. Next up, let's talk about professional presentation. Because before you even open your mouth, you're communicating. A polished appearance, a confident posture, all of it sends this powerful nonverbal message that says, I am disciplined, I am detail-oriented, and you can rely on me. It builds that credibility in an instant. And finally, we come to maybe the most profound component of all, ethical integrity. VIP guests are entrusting us with incredibly sensitive information, personal details, business plans. And safeguarding that information isn't just a rule and a handbook, it's a sacred duty. You know, a single careless remark can absolutely shatter a reputation that took years to build. Integrity is that silent promise you make to every single guest. So, as we start to bring this all together, it's so important to see that these aren't just a list of separate skills. They all interlock, they all support each other, and together they form the complete professional mindset that you need for real excellence in VIP service. And this pyramid here is the perfect way to visualize it. Think about it. Your foundation is that inner composure, your emotional stability, and your presence. Then, built on top of that are your interaction skills, humility, and anticipation. And then binding it all together are the principles of trust, consistency, presentation, and integrity. This right here, this is your framework for becoming a complete professional. And you know, when you truly embody this entire mindset, your role it becomes something more. You're no longer just performing a series of tasks anymore. You are practicing a true professional craft, one that's grounded in respect, empathy, and a commitment to excellence. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Take a look at all these principles we've just put together. My question for you is, which one? Which single principle are you going to consciously choose to focus on this week? Because that right there, that's how you start turning this knowledge into genuine mastery.